Cause how you walking with a lion got me feeling like Micah. I've been on the way to team on my back like a biker. Shorty won't be with a star, but you lucky if I invite you. We can take it to the next spot. They yelling like Prescott. Everybody like, there ain't no breaks, no rest stop. We tryna get your head chopped. The whole club yelling. Everybody.
Here we go. Here we go. Victory Formation Podcast, Season 1, Episode 20. Post-draft relief. We're here to soothe some minds, calm everybody down. Eddie, how you feeling? Is your heart back to normal yet?
It's getting there, I think. It was a stressful time for a little bit.
Man, y'all weren't there in the Discord, man. We had to calm Eddie down. I was going to drive a blunt over to his house. Like, Eddie, it's okay, man. He's ready to burn the whole front office down.
The first couple picks just blew my mind. After we got BB, like I calmed down a little bit. I was like, wow, this is actually, if we get one guy out of this draft, it's BB. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then
it's bad when I got to be the voice of reason. It's bad when I got to be the voice of reason, man.
So I was throwing my cowboy gear away. I was in my brain. I was like, what team am I going to start liking now? It's not a good feeling.
It's all good. It's all good. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. Because you know why? We had some blockbuster signings this week. We signed a wide receiver. His name is Tyron Johnson. I don't know if you know him. He's on the practice squad last year. He's going to save us. We re-signed Damian Wilson. He's back. He's going to save us. He was actually pretty good, but when he was here the first time around, I liked him.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the big signing, we finally got our center, Zeke. He signed. And then, Zeke, man, one thing I didn't realize was he actually led the Patriots in receptions last year. Like, not in yards, but in receptions. So we got a good center and a good wide receiver with that signing with Zeke. And maybe he can play a little running back, too, from time to time. We'll see.
I don't know. I like Zeke a lot. I think that Zeke has a lot of tread left on his tires. He left here. I mean, he kept getting banged up a little here and there, right? He had the MCL. He hurt his back a little bit. And for a banger of a running back, you can't have little tiny injuries like that because they really do. I mean, you could play through them, but that's not his game. And then he goes to New England, where, I mean, that offense was absolutely
terrible.
Backwards. it really was. So, I mean,
you didn't get to see if it was him.
Yeah, but even like some of the running backs that just have been through there in the last couple of years are really good. Raymond Stevenson is fucking great.
Man.
They're not using him for shit. And so Zeke coming back over here, I believe, is going to do a couple of different things. It's going to he has a mentality of, I'm not going to go down, and you're going to remember that you tackled me.
Yep.
And a lot of us that have played remember playing with guys like that, where you're like, hey, it's fucking practice, relax. That's Zeke.
Calm down.
That's Zeke 100%. And I think he's also going to bring in another level of security for Dak. Not only that he's a good blocker, we know he's a good blitz pickup, but I think in Dak's heart he knows that Zeke's got his back, right? We all have that one friend that we know. I can tell him anything, and he's got my back. And I feel like Dak and Zeke have that, right?
Yeah.
So if that's something that he brings, that's a positive for our team that we didn't have last year.
Yeah.
Right?
Because Dak knows now on third down, that blitzing linebacker is going to be picked up. That blitzing cornerback safety is going to be picked up. And now they match salaries. Back when they first started, Dak was making like $600,000 a year. Zeke was making $15 million. But now Dak can match him. He can take him out to get some cheese on his burger this time whenever they go out.
Very true.
But I'm glad he's back. I like his mentality. Like you said, he brings that on the field. He doesn't take plays off. Like when he's on the field, he plays hard. Now he might check himself out after a couple, 2-3 runs. He'd be like, all right, give me a spell. But when he's on there, he's going full bore. Whatever he does, he's going to run hard. And you need people like that because you can't teach that. Yeah. Like I like to say, it's the one of my favorite players like that in the NBA is like Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, he might be slower, not as good as he was, but when he's out there, He's never taken a play off. He's going to be going hardcore defense and offense. He doesn't sit back or whatever. And you can tell when players are taking plays off. And I hate that about players. When I see somebody, man, you're good. Stop standing in the corner pouting, Get out there and play. So
Westbrook, he's the kind of player that'll take a player out of a game mentally, right?
Yeah, he will.
I mean, that's what he was doing to Luka. He was doing that to Luka the other day.
So much.
He was pissing Luka off. Luka to pull his hair out, like, come on, give me a break.
Like, get off of me. Yeah, like, get off me. Yeah, and that's what Zeke will do. Like, on that fourth run, that linebacker's going to meet him in the hole. Like, okay, he should be tired by now. But, like, no, he's bringing it every single run.
I think if we had Zeke on those goal line situations this year, I think there's no way he doesn't score on those ones that Pollard didn't get over.
Oh my God. Those right on the 1 yard line. I remember Pollard got tackled on the half foot line one time when it was like he was assured he scored, but somehow he got tackled sideways.
Sounded like this when he got tackled.
Yeah. Oh man. That's right. And Pollard's my boy. I love Pollard. Yeah.
He's just soft.
And I love Pollard. But then he had the broken leg, so I'm like, I don't know how much that affected him because everybody can't handle injuries the same as everybody else could bounce back. True. So, I mean, he was still pretty good. But that leads to how this draft fell out. So, let's go through the list of the draft people we had. So, this is who we drafted. Number 1, first round, Tyler Guyton, tackle, Oklahoma. Just for the fans at home, Eddie loved that pick. That was his favorite pick of the whole time.
While you're reading it?
Oh, yeah, you can show it.
All right, let's do it.
I forgot. We have the technology. Let's do this.
Technology. Okay, go ahead.
This is 2024. Then we got Marshawn Nealon. That was a surprise pick that nobody saw coming. Nobody. Literally, no. I don't even think God knew we were going to pick him. Like, he was shocked. And the third rounder, which seems to be the consensus, everybody believes our best pick, Cooper Beebe. And based off everything I've seen so far, I can get behind that. Then we got Marist Liufau, however you say his name, one of them Islanders. Then we got Kalen Carson, cornerback. Ryan Flournoy, the one wide receiver we did draft. Nathan Thomas, another offensive tackle. That was another surprise pick. I figured we would double dip, but once we got Cooper, I thought that was our double dip. I didn't think we would triple dip on offensive line, so that was a bit of a surprise. And then last but not least, Justin Rogers, defensive tackle. He's going to be our new Jay Ratliff. The guy makes a Pro Bowl from the 7th round spot from Auburn, the defensive tackle. Y'all don't remember him, but Jay Ratliff. He's a piss off Jerry Jones all the time. That's why he got kicked off the team.
I loved Ratliff. He had an attitude. He was one of those guys that he didn't want to go by his locker. You're like, oh, I got to walk by his locker. Shit.
And he made Jerry Jones so mad. Jerry Jones like, forget it. I don't care. He made the Pro Bowl. Get him out of here. Anyway, so that's it. So out of all those players, which one is your favorite? Which one is your favorite draft pick?
Obviously, Cooper Beebe was my favorite pick that we picked. I'm sure 5-6 years down the road, we look back and we're going to be like, man, we didn't even know that we drafted this kid, right? We didn't even know that Tyler Guyton was going to be such a monster. He's 21 years old. Mm-hmm. He only played right tackle. We put him over at left tackle. Now he's a fucking beast. I mean, but off of what we've seen so far and what you can see on tape, Cooper Beebe was an amazing pickup. And I know from reading today what the situation was at 73 was, from what I understand, we had that running back on the phone that we were going to draft.
Yeah.
And then the Cooper Beebe situation popped up, and it made more sense for us to not lose a pick next year to get it back this year, but pick Cooper up right now and him be a centerpiece of our offensive line for years to come, right? If we think back at like the Zach Martin pickup during that one draft, we never thought this kid is going to be the left guard, our right guard for a decade and be one of
Hall
the best, right? So Cooper Beebe, when you see him, when you see if you've seen some film of him, He is very heavy-handed. He's very wide. We've never had a very strong center. I mean, the really successful centers that we've had were really skillful, right? Stepnoski was
like a tight
end.
We call them technicians.
Stepnoski was like a
technicians.
Tight end. The kid from I keep forgetting Beard, Tyler.
Oh, Fred Beard.
He wasn't particularly strong. You weren't going to get you weren't afraid to walk down an alley if he was in there. But he was technically, like, he made the right steps. He was in the right spot. He was the quarterback of that offensive line. Cooper Beebe has all those smarts and the strength and he just has something behind him where, man, you didn't have to do that. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you're playing against somebody and they do that last little thing and throw you on the ground.
Like, man, calm down. Yeah, like, get off me. The play's over.
I think Beebe's going to do, and he's going to stomp on you, and all the snot's going to come all over you. I mean, that's the kind of player he's going to be, and that's what we need at center. It'll be fucking amazing.
Yep.
We have a spearhead. We have a head of the spear now.
Yeah, I watched Vach break him down.
Yeah.
And he picked the game that they played against Texas.
Yeah.
And that Texas line was ridiculous. It had 4 NFLers. Like, he picked the game from last year that had the 2 they picked. Brian Murphy. T'Vondre Sweat was on the last year. Because it even had Overshown on the team last year. He picked the game from then. Then there was another guy that was like a 3rd or 4th round pick that they picked last year. So it was nothing but NFLers on this team. And so he picked that game on purpose. He said he didn't want to pick another game where it showed him dominating like Tulane or whatever. He picked this game on purpose, and he was shutting them down. Sweat, Byron Murphy, nobody could even touch the guy, the quarterback. Couldn't get. He would they would try to move him. Like, he'd always take those first 2 steps, look like they got him, but he would anchor, and that's it. When they wouldn't move anymore, he get the hand. And I'm like,
it wasn't like he was like managing
good stuff.
He was literally beating him up.
He was dominating. I'm like, man, this is like, I didn't know anything about him. Like, I don't follow college like that. I follow college, but not to scout players. I follow just to watch the games. Like, I like watching this game, but I'm not like watching.
I guarantee you
college to be like, oh, that guy.
You've seen him before, though. You know why?
Yeah, why?
Because we've all seen the run against Alabama that our boy did.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. With
that was
Deuce.
That was the whole reason why.
So
that was the reason why we loved that Deuce pick, because they kept showing us that breakaway against Alabama and who made 3 blocks on that play.
He did. He was just ridiculous. Like, he was killing it.
It was ridiculous. I can't wait.
Man, it's like, but yeah, so that was my favorite pick as well, only because I think we got a steal. And I'm like you, like, Stephen Jones even said that this pick really tested their running back, really tested their BPA thing, because they knew that they wanted to draft a running back, but when he was there at that pick, it's like they just could not pass him up. The value was too much, and they had to pick him.
I wonder how much Brooks going that high, that ridiculously high.
Oh man!
I wonder how much Jerry was just like, forget it. I'm not, I'm not playing this game with these people that are just randomly picking people here and there because they have 56 picks. It felt like some teams had that many picks that they were just like.
It did. Like, it just felt like they're just picking over and over. Yeah.
I mean, look at who was the team that drafted the 2 running backs right out from underneath us?
Jets.
Fucking Jets.
And they drafted
man. You guys have
Braylon Allen. It was Braylon Allen, and then there was other big running back. And they drafted them one round after another. And they still have Breece Hall.
Isaiah Davis, the one pick before us.
Exactly.
That pissed me off.
And then man, I was so mad. But they already had Breece Hall and the guy that was really good backing them up last year.
Yeah, the Janaconda or something like that.
And on top of that, they had another 2 running. So they have like 7 running backs on their team. 2 of them they drafted. They're going to have to release a good running back. So we can watch that and see. Pick somebody up. But yeah, that was one of those things where, I mean, we could have gotten a running back, but it would have been like how they reached for Brooks. I think Brooks will be good later, but this year that was too high for him based off his injury. Mm-hmm. But it's like one of those things. But that was my favorite too. Yeah. The BB pick. So what do you think about, like, so who do you think, like, that's everybody our favorite pick? Who do you think is going to help them the most this year?
Looking at the list, I think Guyton, I think, has the most ceiling. the highest ceiling, right? He's going to step into a position. Him and BB both are stepping into a very needed position that they're going to get as much coaching in. But to be honest with you, I really like Maris Liufau.
Man,
because I'm a Notre Dame fan. I've been watching their games for as many games as I possibly can. He was a type of linebacker that for some reason they blitzed him a lot, right? So a lot of the negative marks that he's getting from these scouts and these couch scouts are the PFF said that he missed 18% of his tackles. And I have to say, okay, I understand that, but I physically watched with my own eyes these plays that he didn't make. A lot of them were on blitzes where you're running by somebody. But he's a big, fast, athletic linebacker. Exactly who we need. He's heavier than anybody that we have, too. And so I think it just matched with what Zimmer needs and Zimmer needs on this offense. If he is what I think he is, I think our linebacker room is going to be fucking really athletic. More athletic than it's been in a very long time.
I wanted to say Guyton as well, but I was going to go with him because this was definitely the defensive players we chose were definitely Zimmer guys. So Zimmer likes big-bodied on run defense. He likes what's called simulated pressure. I'll explain that in a second. And he likes people that has man coverage ability. So Marshawn Kneeland and Liufau, however you say his name. I'm going to say Marist. That's his name, Marist. They are the big body guys he's like. Zimmer loves the AA gap blitz. Man, what's the guy? Chucky, the coach
Gruden?
Who was over
Gruden?
Gruden. He did an excellent video that broke down the AA gap blitz. And the way they do it is he'll bring the two linebackers, one on each side of the center. He'll bring safety, both safeties on the line of scrimmage. One is on one side, one is on the other side. He always plays with two linebackers. Now, you never know who's coming. He'll have 4 people that can blitz, but nobody knows who's coming. He might send both AA gaps and then the safeties run back, or he might send one safety on one side, both safeties, and then the linebackers run back, and that's what's called simulated pressure. If you don't have a chance to look that up, Zimmer is the master at this, to where he still only ends up rushing 4, maybe 5. It's not really a blitz because he'll drop linemen into coverage as well. So it makes it seem like, man, the whole house is coming. Everybody is getting ready to come, so we got to get the ball out quick. We got to run slants or whatever, but then he'll drop people into the zones. Their blitz rate is very low, but their blitz effectiveness is very high, and that's what Zimmer brings with the defense. So he likes the big guys, and that's why he got Kneeland and the Liufau and then the Carlson. Carlson, he likes man-to-man, which I don't know why Quinn did this, but in the playoff game, we had been playing aggressive man-to-man press coverage all year. But in the playoff game against Green Bay, for some reason, he decided to back off and play off coverage for the first half. And they just literally destroyed us. And for the life of me, I do not understand why he did that. Maybe he got in his head. He's like, well, they think we're going to play press, so let's play off so we can trick them and, play some chess with their brains. And it did not work. It killed us. And so, but Zimmer's not going to do that. Zimmer does what he does. He doesn't play any games. He's like, this is what we practice. And that's why I explained when he first got hired that the defense has a learning curve. So in the beginning, it's not going to be as effective because these guys got to learn it. The first year, every defense he's had, the first 8 weeks or so, they're good. After about week 8, they start getting really good. And by the end of the season, they're elite. And in year 2, they're elite. And that's how his defense works. So you're going to have to be patient with Zimmer and his defense the first 6 to 8 weeks. The good thing is he's never taken over a defense that had this many great players on there to start off, with the Bland and the Diggs and the Parsons and the D-Law. And I'm thinking Overshown's going to be good. But we never had that many good players starting off, so it might be better than advertised. So we'll see how that goes.
My opinion on that, and I get what you're saying, but my opinion on that is Zimmer doesn't have more than this year to get this started. because
he sure doesn't.
He doesn't have it at all. So the comfortability of by the fourth game they're gonna we don't have that anymore. He doesn't have it. So
we don't.
He needs to get these guys up and running right now, and if it doesn't, then he's going to be looking for a job along with Mike McCarthy and everybody else next year.
And that's why if our offense can carry us to where by game 6 we're 4-2, 5-1, his defense is just going to get better and better and better. So we got to start off fast. We can't start slow.
Very true.
And that's one thing. But the one good thing about Zimmer that a lot of people overlook is he is the best defensive coordinator out there against a Shanahan-led offense. The Shanahan offense that's been killing us, San Francisco, Miami, those type of offenses, he is the best against that.
Sure.
And you know who's the worst against that? Dan Quinn.
We saw that.
Dan Quinn was the worst against a Shanahan-centric offense. And that's why he has Zimmer always had a lot of success against Aaron Rodgers. He had a lot of success against all those Shanahan tree offensive schemes. And that's what he is, because he has a well-defined preference on defense. He knows what he wants, and he goes and gets it. And that's why we were upset in the draft, because Nealon is somebody he would like the people he had on Minnesota weren't big names when they were drafted, but he turned them into big names because they were perfect for what he needed. And so, like, you'll see Dono and Hooker are going to be great. Dono play the inbox. Hooker's if more free. Like, Hooker is the Harrison Smith, and Dono was like the Iloka he had in Cincinnati. Yeah. And then, of course, he likes the big linebackers. Leafoud's going to be good with Overshown. Those double A-gap blitzes are going to be killer, and that's why they got Marist, because he's not a side-to-side. Like, maybe we wanted that guy, Peyton Allen or whatever his name was. And we really wanted him because he was a side-to-side. Marist is completely opposite. He's downhill, see ball, get ball. And that's what Zimmer wanted more than a sideline to sideline. And that's why he was the pick over Allen. So that's why you got to take that into consideration when it's not like they made bad picks. Like, who are they picking? They don't know what they're doing. This guy was here. But why put, like, some players are just good enough, especially in the first round. No matter what kind of offense or defense, they're going to excel, no matter what you put them in. Some players are only good or excellent in a certain kind, and you can find those players and turn them into it, and that's what Zimmer did with his picks. And so that's why I'm reserving judgment instead of going off the deep end like a lot of people did.
I'll be honest with you, and I really don't care if people don't like that I went off the edge, because that's my opinion, and I'm not dumb about it. I was really fucking angry that we wasted.
Y'all should have been there. It was so funny. I was dying laughing.
I feel like Nealon was an absolute 100% wasted pick. I don't understand what our second round ineffectiveness is, but it's almost like we say, second round, fuck it. Hey, let's throw a dart.
And it doesn't matter who's the coach.
Throw a dart.
It doesn't matter who's the coach.
Let's throw a dart at the fucking board and see if we can hit anybody that's in the 100, in the 100.
Yeah.
Nealon, okay, like I said, I promised everybody we can revisit this at the end of or even in the middle of the year. You guys can tell me how wrong I was, and that'll be fine. But looking from the outside in, we absolutely 100% did not need a defensive end. 100%. And we drafted a not even the best defensive end. It was like the 11th best defensive end in our second round, when there was receivers and tackles and centers and running backs and Lions and Tigers are fucking available. We went again and decided that, you know what? Well, this guy might be good in the future, or maybe, rotationally he might fit well with this. And Zimmer's not going to be here next year. So good fucking. I'm so. I'm feeling like.
But I do applaud him. So let me counter with this. I do applaud him for looking at, like, for instance, last year we had issues with one thing on our defense. It was one thing we had issues with consistently all year: defending the run. That was one thing that we did not do well.
Who made the plays? Who made the plays when they didn't need it on defense against the run? Who made those plays? I mean, there's one player.
I mean, it was usually
Tank. Tank made those plays all year round,
Yeah.
right? Is Tank going to be in the game when Nealon's in the game?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
I mean, if you think about it,
we'll have to see.
If we have Nealon and Tank in the game at the same time, that's a very weird defense. Very strange.
Yeah, it is. But that's not a pass rushing defense.
If we were trying to add on to that,
and so the counter I had to that was because that was one thing that Dan Quinn just didn't seem to be interested in fixing all year. I guess he was like, "Don't worry, if you can just hold on, we can get the pass rush good, and that'll negate the rushing." But if you noticed, every single game we lost, it was because they ran all over us. Every single game we lost, and I guess they were like, "Well, we won a lot more. What was 12 games we won? Yeah. We won a lot more games than we lost, so we would rather do that until it hurt us in the end." And Zimmer, he is old school to where he feels, but why just be great at one thing? Why not be great at both? Why can't you stop the run and be able to stop the pass at the same time? And so I think that's what those picks were about, that we have all the pass rushing savants on there and everything's good, the good cornerbacks, the good safeties, the good pass rushers, and run defense was just killing us. And I think that's what that pick was about. So, yeah, I can see that about what you're upset about, especially with somebody that you don't know. It's like,
we have the same exact player on the team.
I don't know anything about this guy. He didn't seem...
We have Golston on the team right now.
And so it's like...
we could have let him go, but we didn't. We kept him. We're going to pay him. And he's not going to play.
I'd rather kept Dorrance Armstrong.
100%.
Yeah, I'd rather kept Dorrance Armstrong over Golston. Yeah. But, so we'll see how it plays out. And, of course, coaching brings it out. Scheme brings it out. So we'll have to see how it plays out. But that's just a little, thing in my mind behind what's going on with the thing. So what about these undrafted free agents?
Again, we did.
Which ones do you like?
Again, we did a really good job of listening to our scouts and understanding a lot. I think a lot of the times when you and I and the rest of the fan base is like, "Oh, we're crossing our fingers in those 6th and 7th rounds that we're going to grab somebody that we maybe like or was on our fantasy draft board or whatever." I think our scouts in our front office do a good job of saying, "Hey, hold off. We don't need to waste a pick on this. We can grab them in UDFAs." Brevin Spanford, the tight end. I mean, a lot of scouts and a lot of draft experts had him being picked. I think he was like a 5th or 6th round.
Yeah, he's definitely making his team. Yeah. They paid him the most. Like, they always have one undrafted free agent they overpay to keep. He was the one this year.
The guy, to be honest, there's 2 guys that I really, really like. I haven't done much research on Nate Peat, the running back that we signed the other day. I saw a little bit.
Yeah.
He's smaller, whatever. But the 2 guys that I really like are Cam Johnson from Northwestern. Absolute, one of those guys like Amon-Ra, a receiver, where he's got an attitude and you tackle him and he gets up and he's pissed off that you tackled him. That's this kid right here. And then the other guy is that safety that we picked up, Julius Wood from East Carolina. He reminds me of when we saw highlights of Marquise Bell when he was in college, where we were like, how did nobody draft this kid?
Yeah, how'd that guy make it?
That's the same vibes that I'm getting when I'm looking at Julius Wood's film. So I just have a feeling that we found some good players in this draft, especially some special teams players. I think Fossil is probably a lot happy with, like Jason Johnson, the linebacker that we grabbed, and things like that. So I think, what do you think? What did anybody grab your eye from those guys that we signed?
I don't know what it is about this scouting team. They're really good at the top, and then they're really good at the bottom. Then in the middle, they're iffy on drafting. It's like first round, they're usually good, and then undrafted free agents, they're really good. But I like the tight end. He is the guy. He's the guy who they thought Schoon was going to be, like who they really wanted to get last year.
Second round draft pick.
Which I don't know why they wasted a second round pick on him. Yeah, and that's like I'm putting Hendershot. He's on notice that if he didn't step up, then he's gone because this guy's going to take a spot because McCarthy really likes big blocking tight ends that can catch. And Hendershot can't block, but he can catch.
Go too. I don't care.
Yeah, and so, but I do like the defensive tackle for a different reason. Because, I was born in the Bahamas, and he's actually a Bahamian. And, and he's a distant cousin of mine. Well, technically not a cousin. One of my cousins married into his family. So now I'm claiming it as my cousin, Wally. So now I kind of want to... Yeah, I want to see him give me some tickets before we release him to wherever he has to go play. I don't think he's making this team.
I'll tell you that. Be like, hey, cousin. Yeah, everybody's calling each other cousin. What's up, cousin?
That tight end, I think, is going to be our biggest. Like, he's the one I liked even before we paid him the amount of money. When I saw that we got him, I was like, man, that's somebody who I liked before I saw any of the money and all that, because that's what McCarthy's really looking into. I think
they went pretty heavy on DBs as well, and obviously
we did.
Well, I think that's shocking. Because of special teams. I mean, those are a lot of special teams players are DBs and linebackers and tight ends.
Plus, with the new rules too, it's different. The new kickoff thing.
There's a safety that we grabbed.
You don't need like. Oh yeah. No. I'm saying with the new rules with the kickoff, where everybody's on the and you can't run until they catch it. New rules. You don't need big, fast guys to run all the way down the field anymore. You need somebody who can be there to block immediately, like
they
right there from a standing spot.
Now.
Yeah.
I agree with that. We did a good job of and we're not done either. Right? We're not done with free agency. Yeah. We've already seen this. We got rumblings.
I mean, we signed 3 people this week
of Third and Renfro. We get. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
and he also got
that would be perfect. That would be perfect.
I think it really would. I don't know what. I mean, I don't know what Vegas was doing. Drafting Brock.
Me neither.
But whatever.
And then on top of that, they signed your favorite receiver. Yep, they signed Gallup this week, so we really don't know what they're doing.
But whatever.
But Gallup's not made for a West Coast offense. He is more of a TO-ish to where he's not, a great route runner. There's, great route runner, but they can go high point the ball. They can catch it deep. When the play breaks down, he can do it. But for this offense, you need a Amari Cooper, a Cole Beasley, a Jason Witten, a Third and Renfro, guys who can really run routes, and Dak will just carve you apart. And that's why Gallup didn't really fit in, because he's not the best route runner.
And a lot of people were angry about the Flournoy pick, the nameless wide receiver that we picked, because there were bigger names on the board at the time. I don't know how many of those people that were complaining actually sat and watched the USC game. There's not too many people. They just recognize that's Jerry Rice's son. Why aren't you drafting Jerry Rice's son? If you look at film, I think Flournoy meets what we're looking for in that second wide receiver. And Rice was great, but Caleb Williams, he was a playmaker. He wasn't a drop back, find a receiver, throw to him. He was a drop back, make a move, run out of the pocket, find Rice like in the corner or on the sideline. And that's what Rice was good at, was breaking off a route and getting open. I mean, how does that translate into the NFL right now? You got to run a route.
Not on our offense.
So that's why I feel. Not on our offense, and that's why I agree with you that the guys that we picked just meet with what we need right now. Some of them were future picks. It doesn't make any sense to me, but
and I guess that's why scouts get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to pick players, because I mean, if we pick them, we'd probably be hitting on one out of our. So I think we're in a good stage because we miss on 1 or 2 out of our draft picks. A lot of teams only hit on 1 or 2, today? So we're on the better half.
You know how everybody's S&, Howie Rose's D right now because of they're all over it. And what they did was they went back to look at when the Eagles started successfully getting this draft. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago when it started, and they looked at the popularity pick on these like PFFs and PFNs and like the media picks. Howie Rosen is following what the media and what those he's following it almost to a T. So it's almost like he printed it out as a blueprint, and he's like, "This is where we're going to go, and this is how we're going to go." And everybody's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you did. That's great." Oh, blah blah blah. Where other teams are following their own way of drafting, and Dallas does not do that ever.
Yeah,
I mean, ever,
man, ever.
ever.
It's like he calls his assistant, like, "Hey, bring me in the latest Mel Kiper draft mock draft," and then that's who he picks. And we do the exact opposite. I
believe he has a book.
But at least with Tyler Guyton.
I think he has a book. It's like NFL Drafting for Idiots, and he's just flipping through
it. Yeah. Like, please let this stick. And then he's only had like one or two like legit hits in the last few years, like in the first round, as opposed to us where almost all of our hits been hits in the first round. He's been good picking up free agents.
Kicking money down the road. Kicking money down the road. That's all they're doing.
Yeah, but when it comes to drafting, like this might be the first time where I actually really like, because even all their Georgia guys they picked recently, none of them have been like killing it, except the guy from last year. He was the first one that really was killing it. Other than that, they've been okay. But for a first round pick, you don't want okay. You want to pick a Parsons. You want to pick a, even though Diggs was a first round, you want to pick a Diggs or a Zach Martin or a Tyron Smith or a Tyler Smith. You want people who are going to the Pro Bowl as a rookie or in their second year as opposed to just being okay.
Oh my god, the one that just.
Oh.
No, the guy Smith? Before the guy from the little guy that they didn't even re-sign after his fourth year. Who was that kid? Rager.
Oh, Rager. Who they picked before Justin Jefferson. Yeah.
Remember the Vikings are like they
picked him before Justin
Jalen
Jefferson.
Rager, and they all look at each other like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Man, it's like they couldn't run to the podium fast enough. I don't think any time went off the clock when they handed in that form for Justin Jefferson. They're like, "Hey, you got 10 minutes, right?" Like, no, it's okay. Absolutely. Let me know who we want.
We used to be able to bank on the Eagles really fucking up the draft, and it didn't happen.
I know, and that's why I hate that now that the Redskins /C words, they have new ownership, new coaches, so now they're making smart decisions, and I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that they're making smart decisions. How hard is it to not make
a smart decision when you have 85 draft picks? How many times do you look up and go, Washington's drafting again? You got to be kidding me.
Yeah. I did get excited when the Giants went with a wide receiver over one of the good quarterbacks.
Hell yeah, bring it down.
Like that.
Simmer down now.
Yeah, like keep Daniel Jones as long as possible, please. I love that guy. Like I'm gonna call the Giants. Like, man, you guys are so
Jerry's
smart.
Like calling him up, just trying to feed him some nonsense. Like, hey, what would you guys take for DJ?
Hey, man. Yeah, like they want him. We're gonna keep him. But anyway, yeah. So we'll see. But anyway, that's just how the draft rolls out. Then over the coming weeks, we'll keep looking at it. Practice about to start. We'll see how that goes. More free agents, and
we got rookie camp.
We'll see how it goes. And then and then of course injuries always force people into playing, so you never know. Hopefully, we don't have any injuries to our rookies like we did Overshown. I think he's gonna have a big year. He got hurt early enough to where by the time the season rolls around, he'll be good to go.
Absolutely.
And who's the other guy? It was a tight end that got hurt in the preseason too. He tore his ACL and he was doing pretty good, but I don't know.
Name was it
John Stevens?
Like or he was
something like that. I can't remember, but he got hurt in the preseason too, and he was kind of killing it.
Everybody, because he was a
so we'll see
UDFA outshining a second round pick. That's all it was.
Yeah, exactly. So they were like, "It's not good. It's not good." Anyway. But Schoon will be better. He came from Michigan.
I think we should just trade our second round pick every year. Just trade it.
Blue blood.
Don't even think about it. Just trade it. Don't look at it.
Just trade it.
Don't even look to see who's available.
Trade that and a seventh. Like, always trade our second round pick and a seventh round pick and move back into the first round and get 2 first round picks every year. We'd kill it. We'd do good at grabbing first round
trade
picks.
This year's second and next year's second for this year's first every year.
Yeah, and just keep doing that every single year. Trade something and move back into the first, and never pick in the second round, and we'd be Gucci, man. I'm telling you. Anyway, but that's all we got for today. We'll let Eddie calm down, and by next week he'll be loving these picks. Once he sees Guyton pancake Parsons a couple of times, he'll be like, "Oh yeah." Once he sees Nealon kill Zach Martin on something, he'll be like, "Okay, I see it," and then he'll come around. I'll work on him for you guys.
You can dress a pig up all you want. I still know it's a pig. Yeah, put a dress on it all you want. I'll take it.
Just put some lipstick on it.
I'll take her to prom.
Some lipstick on it.
But I'm still going to know that I didn't take that other girl to prom. That's all it's all about. We'll see.
Hey, but like you still might get lucky though.
All
so you
pro
still might get
in a couple years. He's 21 years old. That was a great fucking.
He might.
That was an amazing
built like
pick
it.
for
He's
a
built
team.
like
That was an amazing
Tyron
pick
Smith.
for a team that didn't need a left tackle right now. Amazing.
Yeah.
But not for Dallas this year. But we'll see.
All right. But anyway, so we'll see you next week, everybody.
Yes,
y'all
sir.
Stay tuned. Keep your ears to the street, and we know what it is. Eddie,
It's always
tell the
DC
people
for
goodbye.
life. Always, no matter what. Even if we pick random guys and waste draft picks, it's okay. We still love the team.
That's how it goes. So anyway, y'all stay safe. We'll see you next week.
Love you. Hey, make sure you're kissing your kids. Hug your mom and dad. Tell them you love them. Be safe out there.
All right, here we go.
Cause how you walking with a lion got me feeling like Micah. I've been known to wear the team on my back like a biker. Shorty won't be with a star, but you lucky if I invite you. We can take it to the next spot. They yelling like Prescott. Everybody like, there ain't no breaks, no rest stop. We tryna get your head chopped. The whole club yelling. Everybody.